Hi everyone. Today I'm speaking to my cousin Mital. She's an amazing mom to two resilient kids. But when her firstborn Aaron was born, they were told he has a hearing impairment. He's 10 years now and he's thriving. So let's hear from Mital how their journey has been. Thank you, Mital, for doing this.
Of course, you're welcome. Hey guys, how are you all?
So when did you guys first find out?
We actually found out exactly at 5 weeks after he was born. But, when we lived in the US has a law where you can't leave the hospital without a hearing test. He failed his hearing test. So they said, it could just be fluid, it could be something. So then they asked us to go back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks we went, he failed it again. Then they did a further testing, which is called an ABR, and it is a sedated test. So they put him to sleep and then they test him. That's when we found out. So he was 5 weeks old. Both the ears, one was 100% no hearing, one was 80% no hearing.
Oh my God.
So it's as good as no hearing at all.
And you guys were first-time parents.
First-time parents, that excitement of having your firstborn, having so many dreams, wishes, things that you want to do.
And you're told this.
And then you're told this where you don't know what it is. You've heard of things in the past, but until it doesn't happen to you, you never really, get into it. And then suddenly all this comes onto you. And
do you remember the emotions that ran through you and Shrenik?
We were at the doctor's office and the doctor broadcast the news to us, the ENT surgeon. And I just lost my thought process. I lost everything.
I can't even imagine
that I had. Went home. My mom was there with us. She had come to help us. And, I was like, Mom, this is what the doctors are saying. So she's like, no, just give it some time. It'll all be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. That's all, that's the hope she gave. I locked myself in the room for a week. All I did was I nursed him. And I just cried. At that point, it was like, why me? What did I do?
Yeah.
What did this child do that he has to go through this? And then I think after a week, you start accepting things little by little. There was a lot of support that was offered to us by the government. But at that point, you're not ready. You don't agree to what has happened to you.
Yeah, the accepting part is
there's
so
denial.
Yes,
there's full-on denial.
And I love that you said you locked yourself and you cried and you nursed him.
Yeah.
And that was so important because once you accept that, okay, now this is happening.
Yeah. But that was just the start.
Okay.
Yeah. I still was not ready to accept it. It took a year.
Okay.
A year to fully accept that, hey, this is the reality. There are no miracles. Actually, this was a miracle of science.
Okay.
Where cochlear implant is what he currently wears, which is surgically implanted.
Okay. So did the doctor tell you that there is a possibility like this earlier on or no?
Of him getting his hearing back?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
They clearly told us the only solution is doing a cochlear implant surgery. We had to do hearing aid trials for insurance purposes. But either way, the doctors had clearly said there is no other solution to this.
Okay.
So,
and even for this to work,
yeah.
What was the percentage? Because they always like talking in percentages that even if we do this, he will still have, we're not sure because
Yeah. So, until they didn't do an MRI, they didn't know what the state of the cochlea was.
okay.
Yeah. So they did the cochlear. The doctor said this is going to be successful.
Okay.
He will be able to hear. But it can only be done after he's a year old.
Okay.
So you as parents have that time up to a year to be able to, go through this process. And, we had such an amazing team of doctors, kept on saying, take your time. Until you are not ready as parents, you will not be able to give you 100% to the child.
Definitely.
And to give that support to the child that he needs.
So important.
So take your time, grieve. It's a space where you have to, it's like we say, it's a process where it's step by step.
Exactly.
And you can't say that, hey, this has happened, now this is what you have to go through.
Yeah. And how was he as in this 1 year? Like his other, growth areas were completely fine.
Perfect. Completely fine. If you saw him just on his own, you could not even say that this child cannot hear.
Okay.
It was like he was always bubbly, laughing.
And do you think that helped you guys, like as a couple, to see that, okay, you know what? There is hope. And
there is hope. There's hope. It did help us. I still remember very well, we had gone to the doctor's office for just a regular checkup. We saw a couple other children, some thriving with cochlear implants.
Okay.
Some, unfortunately, with other conditions could not, had other things. That's when a realization came that look at how happy these children are no matter what. Look at how happy their parents are. Yeah, they're not making this child feel that
you're any less.
Yeah. And that's when that acceptance started coming in. That this is fine.
Yeah.
This is it. This is okay.
You said you had an amazing team of doctors who were so positive and there for you guys. Was there any like therapy for you guys or no? Not initially.
Not initially. Okay. Well, there was therapy always, but we rejected it.
Okay.
Because we were not ready for it.
Okay.
But it was just sitting with your doctor's office, sitting with your audiologist. We have a very good family friend. One of our very good friends, Jamie and Taylor, his dad is an audiologist.
Okay.
And we had some conversations with him. Arun's first surgery, he drove 3 hours from where he lived, came to the hospital, sat with us. And it was a 3-hour surgery. So it was very nerve-wracking.
Obviously.
Because, putting your child under anesthesia for 3 hours.
And how old was he when he got his
1.5 years old.
1.5 years old.
Yeah. So he didn't know what was happening to him.
Yeah.
Right?
And you can't even explain. Like he wouldn't understand.
You can't. And Kirk is his name. So Kirk said, he's like, whether you want me there or not, I'm going to come. He drove 3 hours, sat at the hospital, sat with us, talked to us, just kept our minds so occupied that we didn't realize how those 3 hours went. Then you see the surgeon walks in. Like every hour they would update us that, hey, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. Yeah. Then the surgeon walked into the room and he's like, I'll talk about your son later. He's not my concern right now. You, mama, you need the tightest hug possible. So he came and he gave me such an amazing hug. And then, he explained to us how the surgery. I kid you not, I am so thankful to that team of doctors. We built a personal relationship with them.
Of course.
Over the years that we've gone. And, we are so grateful for the system, the medical, the doctors, our therapists. For 7 years, Arun had to do auditory verbal therapy.
Wow.
every week, in and out, we had to take him to a special center. And this center specializes in hearing loss, early interventions. So we would do therapy at the center once a week, every day at home. It's like, we're given homework.
Yes.
You need to do this. And, just act as normal as you can with this child. Don't make the child feel any different.
Yeah. And you said Aaron was 1.5 years when he had his first surgery. And by this time, you also had Myra.
Yeah, Myra was a month old.
Myra was a month old.
Myra was a month old.
So you had just given birth, and it has been
to
a
a second
month.
child, a month.
And you're saying you're breastfeeding her exclusively. And your emotions are heightened, your hormones are everywhere, and you're healing physically.
Yeah.
That's a lot to take in.
It was. The day Aaron had his surgery, Myra kept on vomiting because she had acid reflux. And we didn't know about this. So that day, it was an early surgery, left Myra at home. My mom calls in and she says, Myra's vomiting. What's happening? So I called the pediatrician. The pediatrician she calls me back and she's like, listen, I figured out what's happening to Myra. How is Aaron?
Yeah.
That is how concerned they were.
Yeah.
But it truly was a journey where we also had the fear, what if Myra has it?
Of course, you've gone through something like this with your first child.
Yeah. We had the option of doing genetic testing with Aaron, which we chose not to. But then the question came as, what if Myra has it?
Yeah.
I think by then we were so ready. We said, we know how to deal with one child.
Whatever it is,
we'll do it with the second one.
Exactly.
There is no difference, If she has it, she has it.
Wow! Imagine the strength which you can say that.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, we'll deal with it.
We'll deal. And you have to be a team. You and your spouse.
Yeah.
If you can't be a team,
things like this is what makes you stronger, right?
Makes you stronger.
And then I wanted to ask you, what about obviously by the time Aaron had his surgery, so after his surgery, did he have to have any other surgery? And the implants, could he hear immediately?
So it was both so we had to do 2 surgeries. They don't implant with the same. They don't implant on both the sides at the same time.
Okay.
So it had to be 1 ear at a time.
Okay.
In between, no, they don't hear immediately.
Oh, okay.
So they start at lower frequencies and then they increase the frequency every week.
Okay.
To a level. I still remember one day we are sitting on our front porch, just hanging out, having fruit. And he goes, Mama. He said it 3 times. And I was like, my child can hear me. And I kid you not, that happiness that we got.
You guys waited so long from the first time you guys were told he couldn't hear till
And those were his first words, how, it's so unbelievable.
And it is a miracle.
It is a miracle. Absolutely, it's a miracle.
And I'm so grateful you guys were there in America. All these technological advancements, the team of doctors was, they could understand.
It's just there, readily available for you.
Yeah.
You just need to take the first step. And I think that's with everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to pediatrics, when it comes to babies. The emotion is very different. As I don't want to say adults, that's not the right way, but I think there's more love or there is more concern over a child.
Exactly. And also because kids can't talk and they can't tell us what exactly is happening,
happening.
we're also, it's not a guesswork, it's not a guess game, but also we're relying on a third party like doctors and team of doctors to tell us. So there is so much to and fro, like showing symptoms, then we take it to them.
Yeah.
And then like, are we doing the right thing for them? You know?
That's it. That's it. You know, there have been times I have been attacked at airports twice for giving him implants.
What?
So hard of hearing community does not believe in hearing. They believe the fact that you were born like this, so you live like this.
Okay.
So when some people have a bit of hearing and they can travel and they can do all that, they're all dependent on sign language. So I was in Chicago with Aaron and Myra, and Shrenik had gone to do something. So this lady was there and she's like, why have you given this to him? She's like, let him be like this. And I was taken back for a second.
Yes.
And I said, but this is a choice we made.
Exactly. You have your opinions.
Yeah.
And this is our choice.
And if at later point my son decides to say, I don't want to hear, then he doesn't have to wear his implants.
Okay.
But until then, we feel as a family that
this is good for him.
This is good for him.
Yeah.
And we have grown up with hearing. Why should he not enjoy it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you had gone the other way, I'm sure your loved ones, your friends and family would have respected that. And you would have then obviously, done other stuff for Aaron.
Other stuff. But then because it's like learning a full new language.
Yes.
Sign language.
Yes.
Yeah. Which we've never learned. We don't know how to do. So if we didn't do this for him,
you'd have then had to
do something else.
Yes.
But that didn't mean the love would have changed.
Yeah, of course.
Still the same.
I can't believe.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so what about your, family members, like, immediate family members? How did they take it when you guys first said?
Because my mom was there with us, we told her. But rest of the family didn't know for a very long time. We thought they'll worry one, sit so far away. And we just dealt with it ourselves.
And I think somehow that's really good because first-time parents, you're going through this. And as you said, a lot of your family, both sides, your and Shrenik, are here in Kenya.
Yeah.
What we have available in Kenya is not what you guys have available in America.
Yeah.
So there is that difference of understanding as well. And then also people have their own beliefs and their own understanding, right?
Yeah.
You don't want pity or judgment or any more advices coming from anybody who's not there with you.
And
because it confuses.
Yeah, and they don't understand what you're going through.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like you said, advices. It's like at that point, you just don't want anything.
We have just common cold and I get like 10 advices and I'm like, leave me alone,
That's it, yeah. So we didn't tell family for a very long time. I think after we accepted things is when we told them.
Yeah,
that Aaron is going through this. We have to do a surgery. And this is the date.
Okay.
We're going to do surgery.
Okay.
And we will let you know if there's anything else. I shut everybody off.
But that's your way of dealing with it.
Yeah. Everybody's way of dealing is different. But this was my way of dealing with it.
And I can see now, like, obviously, I'm sure even you can see now that it was good.
It was good.
He's 10 years.
Yeah.
And he can hear.
Mm-hmm.
And after all that you guys have gone through, you told me he loves football.
He loves football. The other day, so he likes American football as well as soccer.
Okay.
The Super Bowl just this past weekend. He woke up at 2 a.m. And what did he do? He put an alarm on his phone so it would vibrate his head. Because I had told him, I was like, listen, I'm not waking up at 2 o'clock for Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I was like, it's okay, Mom. But I can wake up, yeah? I said, you do you.
Oh.
He woke up at 6 o'clock when I am waking up. I'm hearing him shouting and I was like, what just happened? And then he was happily watching football.
That's so awesome. And now you can like look back and, you and Shrenik both be proud of yourselves as parents that, you know what, we did the right thing for him.
We absolutely did the right
thing. He can enjoy, everything with all his senses.
Yes. Yes. He is such an amazing child. Always ready to help. Always has a thought of what he's doing.
So kind.
Again, very kind. We have a dog, and oh my God, you should see them together. Inseparable. The minute they walk into the house, Mom, where's Bean? Where's Bean? Where's Bean? But if even his peers like him, nobody has ever made him feel that he's different.
And I think it starts with you guys, because you didn't make him feel different.
Never. Not once did we bring this up to him either, that you are different. Forget treating him. It's never been said.
Even when you see Aaron and Myra, like, bickering and fighting, like, like any siblings would. Yeah. So, it's normal. It's natural.
It's normal. I had this instant, I still remember, where I was literally shouting at them for something they were doing. And then he goes to me, Mommy, you're too loud. Boop. He removed his implant. And I was in a shock. I was like, what did this kid just do? Mommy, you're too loud. And he removed them.
Oh my God.
He gets the best sleep ever, because he has to remove the implant at night to charge it. But he's like, I don't know what happens around me.
And can he swim with the implants?
Yes, so there are special implants for swimming.
Okay.
Just plug them on. He can swim.
Okay, so he can do
He can
everything.
hear while swimming.
Yeah.
So there is nothing I would say that he can't do.
Yeah. Oh my God. You've taken me on an emotional roller coaster. Now, how does he navigate social, situations and environments like any other kid?
Like any other kid.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is.
And he's fully aware of what he's got and what he's gone through?
Yeah. He is fully aware. There was one time something happened. He was like, Mom, but sometimes I can't hear. And I was born like this. So Myra understands it so well as well. And she's like, he was born like this. You can't change anything.
And again, it's because you and Shrenik have been so open about it, yeah?
Yeah. At the age of 7, he started to put his implants on charge every day. He would, if there was a problem, he would be able to come and tell us that, oh, I can't hear too well. Can we change the frequency of this? Now we have the app downloaded on his iPad.
Okay.
So he can play around with the frequencies. Like the audiologist has taught him how to play with the frequencies. So it's so minimal now. It's like basically, you wear glasses when you can't hear too well. This is the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
You wear a support when you can't hear too well.
Exactly.
It's different sense only.
And you know what? We live in such a comfortable era.
Yeah.
We have comfort all around us. Like we all choose to drive cars for comfort.
Yeah.
Why should this be any different? And in fact, this is like basic necessities. This should come first.
They should come first. Absolutely.
Yeah. Amazing. And okay, so looking back, would you guys have done anything differently now?
No, nothing differently.
Yeah?
Yeah, nothing.
Okay. And would you want people, especially parents, to understand about children with hearing impairment?
Absolutely. It is very important early intervention. They say that up to this research on this, if you can't hear up to age 4, then your chances of hearing normally are very low.
Okay.
Because when you're a baby, you absorb everything like a sponge, right? You just absorb. When you miss that window, then it becomes harder and harder
Okay.
for you to be in a normal school setting, normal environment. Early intervention is extremely important.
For both child and family.
And parents, yes. So, for the child, it's for the growth. If there is no intervention. Because when you do cochlear implant, it is not natural hearing. It is artificial hearing. And it trains your brain, the sounds train your brain to understand that sound. So earlier you do it, the better it is.
Wow. And just backing up on this question, is there anything you'd say to any parents, who are in the early stages of, going through this?
It's not only this, it's any kind of challenges. Acceptance is the first step as parents. Because if you can't accept, you will not be able to give your child 100%. And until you can't give your child 100%, the child won't thrive. Yeah. And it is part of life. We were chosen for a reason to nurture these children. Yeah. We are very thankful we were one of those. And everybody is special in their own way. Yeah. But it has to come as acceptance from family first.
It's so true. Yeah. It had, and you guys were chosen because you guys as a couple are so positive. And you guys have brought that for Aaron and Myra, especially Aaron.
Yeah.
Because if, let's say, even if you accept, but then you break down.
Yeah.
Even if you accept, then you're, weak. Then it affects his journey. But you and Shrenik have been so super strong for him. And what you said earlier, like even if it's anything with Myra, we'll deal with it.
We'll deal with it. And never make them feel they're different. Because truly they're not.
They're not.
They're not. Yeah. It's just a small tweak that has happened, which you just need to maneuver around and find ways to work around.
Which we do for other stuff in our everyday life.
That's it. Like just simplest glasses.
Yeah, what you say.
Yeah. When the kid is like squinting around, you're like, all right, something's not right here.
Yeah.
They have the opportunity of doing selective hearing.
Like he did, Mom.
Yeah. What did you say? I didn't hear. Cool. So are you not listening to what I'm saying? Or is it you choose not?
I think that's all kids, yeah? That's all.
But this becomes a perfect excuse now.
Exactly. But mommy.
Yeah, but mommy. But yeah, never make them feel that they're different. You can go into your room and break down, which we're all humans, right?
How many times must you have done that?
Oh, every now and then. Every now and then. But you always show them that positive feel, and they will not even know that something is
different with them.
Thank
you, Mital. Is there anything you want to add? Or thank you so much for sharing so openly and with, thank you so much.
This, until we don't speak about it, there is nobody else who will be able to understand.
That, and also, like, there's so many people going through similar situations, but obviously, with different challenges.
Yeah.
But your story gives them hope.
It does.
And you guys, the way you've been, it gives them so much strength and courage, yeah, to look out, reach out. There are options. There's so many options nowadays for everything.
The technology advancement that has now come, anything and everything is possible.
Yeah.
In any kind of, challenges, be it children, be it adults.
But you have to accept, and you have to, like, as you said, early intervention. Go for
Early
it.
intervention, go for it.
And also, I think this story helps friends and family understand as well that sometimes giving people space is the best thing you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. And for us, it worked out even better because we lived far out.
Yeah.
With nobody.
Yeah.
Where on day-to-day basis, we didn't have to discuss all this.
Yeah.
Or we didn't have to update anybody with, oh, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. We did everything at our time.
Yeah. I think it worked out.
It worked out.
Yeah. It worked out beautifully.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Bye.